Hey, folks. It's technically still the morning, so that's better. Um, but just getting to reading today. Been a busy day, doing some yard stuff. All right. Genesis chapter 25 today. Abraham had taken another wife, whose name was Keturah. She bore him Zimran, Jokshan, Medan, Midian, Ishbak, and Shua. Jokshan was the father of Sheba and Dedan. The descendants of Dedan were the Asherites, the Letushites, and the Leumites. The sons of Midian were Ephah, Epher, Hanok, Abida, and Eldaah. All these were descendants of Keturah. Abraham left everything he owned to Isaac, but while he was still living, he gave gifts to the sons of his concubines and sent them away from his son Isaac to the land of the east. Abraham lived 175 years. Then Abraham breathed his last and died at a good old age, an old man and full of years, and he was gathered to his people. His sons, Isaac and Ishmael, buried him in the cave of Machpelah, near Mamre, in the field of Ephron, son of Zohar the Hittite, the field Abraham had bought from the Hittites. There Abraham was buried with his wife Sarah. After Abraham's death, God blessed his son Isaac, who then lived near Beer Lahai-roi. This is the account of the family line of Abraham's son, Ishmael, whom Sarah's slave, Hagar, the Egyptian, bore to Abraham. These are the names of the sons of Ishmael, listed in the order of their birth. Nebaioth, the firstborn of Ishmael, Kedar, Adbeel, Mibsam, Mishma, Duma, Massa, Hadad, Tema, Jetur, Nephesh, and Kedemah. These were the sons of Ishmael, and these are the names of the 12 tribal rulers, according to their settlements and camps. Ishmael lived 137 years. He breathed his last and died, and he was gathered to his people. His descendants settled in the area from Havilah to Shur, near the eastern border of Egypt, as you go towards Asher. And they lived in hostility towards all the tribes related to them. Jacob and Esau. This is the account of the family line of Abraham's son Isaac. Abraham became the father of Isaac, and Isaac was 40 years old when he married Rebekah, daughter of Bethuel, and Aramean from Paddan Aram, and sister of Laban, the Aramean. Isaac prayed to the Lord on behalf of his wife because she was childless. The Lord answered his prayers, and his wife Rebekah became pregnant. The babies jostled each other within her, and she said, "Why is this happening to me?" So she went to inquire of the Lord. The Lord said to her, "Two nations are in your womb, and two peoples from within you will be separated. One people will be stronger than the other, and the older will serve the younger." When the time came for her to give birth, there were twin boys in her womb. The first to come out was red, and his whole body was like a hairy garment, so they named him Esau. After this his brother came out, and his hand grasping Esau's heel, so he was named Jacob. Isaac was 60 years old when Rebekah gave birth to them. The boys grew up, and Esau became a skillful hunter, a man of the open country, while Jacob was content to stay at home among the tents. Isaac, who had a taste for wild game, loved Esau, but Rebekah loved Jacob. Once, when Jacob was cooking some stew, Esau came in from the open country, famished. He said to Jacob, "Quick, let me have some of that red stew. I'm famished." Jacob replied, "First, sell me your birthright." "Look, I'm about to die," Esau said. "What good is the birthright to me?" But Jacob said, "Swear to me first." So he swore an oath to him, selling his birthright to Jacob. Then Jacob gave Esau some bread and some lentil stew. He ate and drank, and then got up and left. So Esau despised his birthright. Well, that was a poor decision. Yeah, I don't know what to say about that. Stew doesn't seem like it's worth what he gave up. But I can't say anything. How many times in my life have I taken things that were real blessings and taken them for granted and let them slip through my fingers? So, sorry about the terrible pronunciation. Again, it's been a very long time since I've read all these things, and especially aloud. This is probably the first time I've said these things out loud, so I don't really know how to say a lot of these names, so forgive me for that. But I'm sure I will find out that I mispronounced many of them in the future. With all of that said, so we see the end of Abraham in this chapter, and what a life Abraham lived. And if we think about Abraham and where he was when he began his journey with God, and how he kind of evolved over time, he really kind of came into his own. He started as somebody with little faith and very timid. The way he hid his relationship to his wife, Rebecca, not Rebecca, Sarah, and how he kind of failed to confront things as they came up. But over time, we saw that Abraham really became more confident and able to take responsibility for things in his life. And I think that was a direct result of his faith, because God was with him, and God continued to make sure that he prospered. He eventually became confident, not in himself, I don't think, but in God. And I think that allowed him to be confident in what he did. And but that's just me, that's my take. I don't know. Tell me if you have a different idea. Please, because I want to learn. I want to learn about these stories and to understand what they're telling us. I think they tell us a lot, and I think they tell us different things in different seasons. And it's for us to take what we need in each season of life and understand the story from that context. So, Abraham died. We saw the sons of Ishmael. We saw that Ishmael also died. And then we saw his descendants and their tribes, and we're told that they were constantly hostile towards each other. And then we have Jacob and Esau, and they wrestle in the womb, and that's kind of foreshadowing, I think. And it's interesting to me that Esau is hairy, right? And why is he red? That's kind of interesting to me too. But if I think about him being hairy, it reminds me obviously of kind of animals. And he's somebody who likes the outdoors. He's out there in the open country, and it seems like maybe he's impetuous and he's kind of driven by the flesh. That's kind of the impression that I get. Obviously, we're told that to some extent, right? He's impetuous, he gives up his birthright. But it seems like just generally in action, he's somebody who doesn't really think before he does things. He just follows his impulses. And I think that's why we have this comparison to animals. And I think red generally incites or elicits a connection to passion. And so when we think about him being red, I think that kind of also falls in line with that. That he's passionate and he's given to the whims of his flesh. And so we see how that really kind of comes to bite him in the butt because he gives away his birthright. And we see that Jacob is not that way. At least it doesn't seem. It seems like Jacob is kind of a little more introverted and hanging out at home. And the thing that I think sticks out about Jacob's character is that he's grasping Esau's heel. Now, I think that kind of foreshadows him wrestling with God. And because grasping of heels, it's a very common thing in wrestling. That's something that you look for. And I think that kind of tells us that that's going to be a part of his character. And him holding on to his brother's heel. It kind of implies that, well, Esau came out first. He really wasn't the firstborn. They kind of came out together. Jacob didn't let him really get that distinction, because as his heel came out, so did Jacob's hand. And I think that also foreshadows a little bit about the relationship between the inheritances between Jacob and Esau. So, okay, I think that's the end of that chapter, and we'll stop there. And I hope that you guys have a wonderful Saturday. Wish me luck. Pray for me to get all of the stuff done that I need to get done around the house, because it's really more than I probably have time for. So I love you guys. Enjoy your Saturday, and see you tomorrow.